Good evening.
Good evening.
Wow, you're not lagging tonight. Hello, are you lagging? Are you there? Well, looks like my
I
co-host
was
and I.
muted. I
You were
got muted.
muted. Oh no.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What's
Yes.
going on?
You know what? We did not plan this color, by the way, audience. We're just wearing the same color.
We look fly
Great
though.
minds think alike.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
look fly. We look fly.
I'm glad that you're not lagging and that we're on the same wavelength
Yes. It's
tonight.
about time. It's about
Yes.
time. So we got an exciting show lineup for you guys. We got two guests for you guys tonight. So I guess we'll be back with our two guests.
So I'm Janine Zabi across.
I'm Janelle Zappy. And where's Zabi Street?
This is Westy Beats on the inside and we're ready to go.
Who are you, Jewel? I think you're hidden talents that you're not talking about.
I just get beat up the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Drum.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that they've done such a good job with hospitality and welcoming all people in.
Well, Samantha Moon.
So my name is Claudette Alona People.
I am Selena.
And then that's how it started. When I came home,
My name is Pumba. Stage name, of course.
Well, I was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica.
I am Evelina Blanc.
I am a mother first. I think I'm a really wonderful friend. I'm a really great business.
I gotta be ready because you're like, oh, she picked that. No, I didn't.
I am Kendra Stephen. I am Rena Charles, aka Mystery.
I take people forward in victory.
Yes.
I gotta say, I'm loving our intro.
I do. I every time I see it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Some of those guests, I love to have back on the show as well.
For sure. Yeah, we should definitely try to reach out to some of them again. See what's up.
Yeah.
So I guess we should get into our first guest quickly.
Yeah. So tonight we have two guests, as Novelist said, and our first guest is an amazing DJ, and we're just gonna get right into it. And her name is DJ Stefaunie.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome, DJ Stefaunie. She's muted.
You're muted.
I said drum roll, please. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Welcome.
How you guys doing today?
We're good. You enjoying our bipolar weather? Or
Yeah, it has me in my bipolar emotions too.
I hear you. Yeah, I don't know if you just heard that Novelist and I for the past few weeks were like, oh, are you with me, Novelist? You're lagging, but tonight we're on par, and he can hear you, you can hear us, and we're all gonna be on the same wavelength tonight. Yeah, so let's introduce yourself, DJ Stefaunie. Like, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and yeah.
For sure. So I go by the name as DJ Stefaunie. My real name is actually Stephanie Martinez. The reason why I decided to go with Stefaunie instead of Stephanie, just because it was a little bit different in regards to, like, Stephanie is such a generic common name. And so I just gave it a little bit of sauce, coming from a Latin culture. I originally was born in Colombia. Moved to Canada at the age of 6, and basically, like, grew up in Toronto I'm now 30. I just turned 30 this year, so
Congratulations.
thank you. But yeah, that's basically who I am. I'm more than a DJ though. I will say I've always been into art and creativity, so I like fashion a lot, and I like being in the music industry in all different aspects. So even though I'm not necessarily an artist, I like working with artists, being in the studio, instruments, all of that fun stuff. So I hope that was a good intro.
That was a good. That was
That
a
was
good.
a great intro.
You covered everything.
We can't ask you no more questions because you said it all.
Hilarious.
So what type of music or what type of genre of music do you spin? Are you an all around DJ or do you focus on particular genres?
Um, so I do believe I'm an all around DJ in the sense of like open format. I like to play all kinds of music.
Right.
Um, but I do want to say like the 2000s, kind of 90s, 2000s hip hop and R&B would be one of my niches.
Right.
I love that era, and I usually get asked to play like Y2K or 2000s parties a
Mhm.
lot, as well as like the dancehall and the Afrobeat. I absolutely love and have always loved. I also play reggaeton, which is from the Latin culture as well. And as of lately, I've been getting into like I'm a piano and like deep house, like the stuff that's kind of
Really?
circulating. It's fun. It's really fun, and it puts you in a really good mood. And I feel like I'm a piano and Afrobeats
Right.
are they just like liven up everyone's mood, like no matter
Mhm.
you know what I mean, like no matter where you are. So yeah.
Okay. I like that. I had the pleasure of listening to you live, like play spin live. The time when I actually heard you, I actually thought I didn't realize that you were playing. And then when I saw, I was like, oh wow, it's a female DJ. And I was like excited. So, that for me was amazing because there aren't many. There are many, but not well, like in
Recognize.
limelight or recognized. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I want to say it like for the last couple of years though, after the pandemic,
Mhm.
the rise of female DJs has been incredible. Um, and like at least in the downtown area, that's usually where I do spin in Toronto downtown, like Dundas Street West, Ossington, Kensington Market, College, like all around those areas.
Mhm.
Right.
I feel like I see a lot of female DJs now. So I'm glad to say that, like I'm starting to see the turnaround now. I don't know about like maybe like Greater Toronto area. I know that like Brampton and Saga and Pickering, they still kind of have the same DJs rotating in the city.
Right.
Um, and I don't think it's like a disrespect or like a hate thing. I think it's more like it, like as humans, like you kind of get used to certain things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's time for um, the DJs that have been like our OGs or that we look up to like kind of like pass the torch.
Open the space. Yeah. Yeah. Pass the torch. I like how you said that. Pass the torch. Um, Novelists, what do you think about that? Passing the torch.
Yeah,
You're
well,
you're OG.
I don't know about OG, but I've always been even like we were talking to Cartel or when Cartel was there, and he tell you how we move. I've always been the type of person to if you're interested in something and I got the knowledge about it, I don't care how old you are. I'm gonna tell you about it if I get it. So passing the torch is always something I've believed in from forever. You know what I mean? So for me, it's not even about passing the torch, like because you've been there for 10 years or 20 years. No, you've been there for 5 years. This person is starting now. You have 4 years or 5 years of knowledge that you could give to that person that's just coming in, right? So
Right.
I guess you could say I agree 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We do talk about that a lot. Like we don't want to kill the vibe, so to speak, or the culture, or um the industry, right? So if people are getting tired of hearing the same mixes over and over, like there's certain DJs, if I go to their parties, I know what mix they're gonna play.
Yeah.
Because it's so monotonous. They've done it for so many years. I know what song's coming next. I know how they're gonna mix it. And it's like, yeah, like, come on. Let your little son or daughter now, or your niece or nephew come on the scene as well. You know, I know you're teaching them too. So yeah, I believe in that, passing the torch, keeping it alive. Oh, yeah.
So it's always good to teach others, man, in everything, right? In everything. So
For sure.
but so what sparked the interest in music for you, and like at what age, did you
Realize
yeah,
into music,
yeah,
or DJing. Okay, so when I was a little girl, I feel like most little girls my age, I want to say probably when I came to Canada when I was like 7, 8,
right,
um, I started listening to Alicia Keys, and I started listening to Destiny's Child and the Spice Girls and all of these different bands that were out at the time.
right.
Um, and at first, I wanted to be an artist. Like I just loved what they were doing, and I would like pretend to be Beyonce, like do the whole nine. Just watch the videos, like dress up and dance and sing. Until I realized I couldn't sing. Like I didn't have the talent of singing. So I was like, I'm not gonna go down that road. And I just always continued to just listen to new music and all that great stuff. And then I think it was around the time I was like 16. Uh, I was like attending church at the time, and some of my friends from church went to this program called Youth for Change. It's a program in Toronto that's a non-for-profit program.
Mhm.
And they actually teach like different classes for not necessarily at-risk youth, but just youth. Like it's open to anybody.
Right.
You do have to apply and like register and like, but they choose a group of people for a semester. The semester usually lasts 6 to 8 or 9 months.
Mhm.
And then they teach you either like photography, DJing, dancing, um, and I can't remember the other classes. And I think it was fashion, actually, fashion and other classes. And like my friends from church just kept on saying like, Stephanie, like you need to go. You're gonna love it. You love music. Like this will be great for you. This will be great for you. So
Right.
I kind of like, it took me a few years to like take them serious because I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then basically what ended up happening is I would go to a lot of house parties, like when I was 18, 19. So
Mhm.
a few years after that. Um, and I would always end up being like the DJ. Like
Right.
I would always be the one on the aux cord playing the music. They'd be like, Stephanie, plug in your phone. And then eventually, like, I'm just like, maybe I should DJ. Like maybe I should take this serious or like at least take the course and see where it goes.
Mhm.
So yeah, so basically after a few years, I want to say I was like 23 now. I was like, okay, like let me go to this course before I can't take it anymore. It's a free course. Like let me check it out. And basically at that age is when I joined the program and started
Mhm.
like how to DJ.
Okay. So your friends saw that talent in you before you can see it.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I can kind of relate to that. The hey, come play the music. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's how it started for me at 13 years old. Hey, play the music. It's like okay, and just stay there. And next thing you know, there's a big party going on, and guess you're 13 years old, but you're the DJ.
Yeah.
Literally. And I don't know about you, novelist, but for me, like it was something that you start to get excited, like like you're like, okay, what song am I gonna play next? Like you start to like I started to find the love for it
Yeah.
while being the aux cord DJ, basically, because I'm there like, what am I gonna play next? And then you play a banger and you see people's reactions.
Mhm.
That's where the love of it started growing for sure.
First.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like you're controlling a little room. Like anything you play, they react, and it's like, okay, I can do this again. Just keep doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The energy exchange is
Yes.
definitely, yeah,
Yes.
I love that. It's one of
Nice.
my favorite things that I enjoy about DJ.
So you ever done like any you have any mixtapes or anything like that, any mixes out?
I do have mixes. They're out on SoundCloud and some of them on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you're looking for the mixes, you can find it on SoundCloud at DJ Stefaunie or YouTube at DJ Stefaunie.
Yeah, I was listening to, I think it was called your Afro Colombian mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I want to go to Colombia now because I've heard so much about Colombia, but after that, I was like, is this what they're playing in Colombia?
You have to. You'll love it. I think you'll love. I think you'll love Colombia. The people in Colombia are very friendly. They're really nice people. Like they're very loving, and I feel like you'll love it over there. So I'm not necessarily sure if that's like if my mix was exactly what they're playing in Colombia, because it was inspired by like a lot of Colombian music. That the mix that you're talking about, the Afro Colombian mix, was inspired by Colombian music. But then also like growing up in Toronto and having like that Jamaican influence, because you hear the dancehall like mixed in with the reggaeton and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like it was like I'm sure that you'll go to Colombia and maybe find something like that, because nowadays everyone's kind of like going more into that fusion vibe.
Right.
But yeah, like yeah, I wanted that mix was like, okay, I'm gonna take this mix to represent my Colombian culture, but also like growing up and having like in the city from Toronto and having like the influence of the Jamaican culture down here in Toronto, because we're like heavily influenced by like the Caribbeans and also like the Africans, and like it just has
Yeah. It represents, yeah,
the
all the
whole
communities, the world, yeah, pretty much.
I would say I would say Toronto have, and I'm not trying to be biased. Just hear me out. I think we have some of the greatest DJs in Toronto, and the reason I say that is because we literally play for the world when we play in Toronto.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We do cater to like a lot of different cultures, so I could say that I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But so as a female DJ though, do you find it like is it tough sometimes? Do you get like stereotype stuff, or has it just been easy going for you?
You do get stereotyped. You do get stereotyped as a female DJ that you might not be that good,
Right.
or that people are just hiring you because like you look good and like you have no skills. Um, a lot of other things that happen in the industry as a female DJ is like you won't get paid the same amount as a male DJ, or like the budget will like be lower, so they'll still pay the male DJ. They'll have you and the male DJ go on. The male DJ's walking away with his check, and then you're walking away with half of his check. So things like that do happen in the industry. Yeah.
That's so like, I can't believe we're in 2023, almost 2024, and this is still happening. It's like, what? You're doing probably even a better job than your male counterpart, and you're not getting the respect or the pay that you deserve. It's just ridiculous.
It is. It is. It's like honestly working with people. It's hard. Like, so as of now, I've been DJing since 2017. So it's been like about 6 years. As of now, I haven't really done contracts. Like when I work with people, I don't do contracts. But like after this year, I was like starting 2024. I'm sorry, but like it's gonna be contracts. It's gonna be deposits. It's gonna be
absolutely
because after a while, you just realize that, like, sometimes people don't take you serious in the sense of, like, they'll pay you, but they'll take their time to pay you,
Yeah.
or, like, little stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
feel like if it was a male, like, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was gonna before you said that part there, I was actually gonna say something. It doesn't just happen to the female DJs where, um, a promoter is dodging you for like a good month, or see you after the event and tell you, well, this is what I made, or blah blah blah. Like we get the excuses too. You females probably do go through much more,
Mhm.
but we deal with a lot of. I think just DJs on a whole, or just even as an artist, just deal with a lot of shitty promoters,
Yeah.
right? Because with at Island Therapy, we've done a lot of a lot of gigs where people are still owing us, but we don't worry about it.
Oh, wow.
Just
I think it's who you choose to do business with as well, right? Like Novelist, you told me about an event like with a really well-known brand that paid you like upfront, like here's your
yeah,
money. I'm glad you're here. Here's your money. Play for me, right? And then you
right,
have the other ones waiting at the door to collect their money and
yeah,
to give you pittance.
yeah,
And no, I believe you, Stefani, when you say I'm going to do a contract, and I don't
yeah,
disagree that you should work that way.
yep,
You know what I mean? You need to set your standard and teach them how they need to treat you, kind of
facts,
thing.
For
facts.
sure. And,
That's
like, to what you're saying, Jewel, like, you're absolutely right. I'm not gonna say, like, absolutely every promoter, every person that I've um, worked with has been, a bad contractor, I guess. I
Right.
don't know what to call them
yeah.
exactly. Like,
Verbal contracts are contracts. Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
there's people that will, like, they're so organized, and they'll have the money for you before the show, or even right after the show they're paying you, like, so I can't say everyone's like that, but I don't know, like, sometimes you will find, like, okay, so one of the last gigs that I did, I'm not gonna say what it was or who it was, but
you
um
good.
they did end up paying me the next day. So they did end up paying me the next day, but the way that it worked was I was originally supposed to play until I think it was like 2 or 3 a.m.
Right.
And then that night, but me and the DJ were supposed to go back and forth. The other DJ, the male DJ. And what ended up happening was the male DJ had like a family emergency, and he basically was only able to play for like an hour and a half.
Right.
So I had to take on and play longer, which I was fine with. And then there was a point where, even though it was like supposed to be till like 3 a.m., I was like spinning. It was like 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, it's 4 in the morning. No one's telling me to stop. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna keep on going. I was there till like 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Finally, 5 in the morning, I'm like, I'm gonna start shutting this down because I'm not sure if these guys are gonna pay the extra hours, or I wasn't sure at that point. So basically, I shut everything down, and then I went to go look for the person that was promoting and hosting the party. And I was like, hey, like, are we good? Like, are you gonna pay me now? And then he was like, yeah. Um, he's like, yeah, like, just meet me downstairs. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go use the washroom. Why did I go use the washroom? I came back, he was gone.
Oh no.
He was gone. Yeah, and then I was like going around like asking other people like, hey, like, did you see him? They're like, oh, like he left already. But don't worry, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid. And like gracefully, I did get paid the next day. Like, but it's just like little stuff like that. Like, I'm sure that the male DJ got paid. I'm
Right.
sure that even though he only stayed for an hour and a half, by
Yeah.
the time he was ready to leave, he got his money, and
I laughed. Yeah.
it's little stuff like that. But all in all, I think like moving forward, yeah, it's just like me taking that confidence and doing the contracts and just saying like, hey, this is what it is. Like setting boundaries, basically. Setting my boundaries and then moving forward, keeping it that way. And hopefully it changes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Just shitty.
Yeah.
Business. People out there. That's all it is. But so what's next for you though? Like any gigs or any mixes, any type of thing we could look for? What you got planned?
Um, so I'm actually I'm trying to get into my executive producer bag. where I want to work with artists.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, wait. What type of music are we producing here?
So I feel like it. I'm open to different genres. I'm
Okay.
open to different genres, but this specific genre would be like a R&B hip hop, like 90s 2000s vibe, but also
Right.
like urban, like new school. You see, so a lot of times nowadays lately they've been making like the remakes of all the songs that we used to listen to, like or I
Right.
used to listen to growing up. You know, they're
Right.
like making all those remakes. So it's gonna be a remake song that I'm working with two female artists.
Okay.
One's an R&B singer, and the other one is a host and an MC. And yeah, that's the next project that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like just the gigs that are coming up, I have a gig on the 8th of December. It's a private gig.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then next year, I have some gigs lined up. One of them for like Valentine's Day. That one is going to be pretty big. It's called Heart and Friends.
Okay.
And then one in January, I believe it's 18th or 19th. Um, it's with another female DJ in the city. Her name is produced by Marie. Uh, she does kind of like Afro beats and Bollywood mixed together.
Oh.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Afro beats and Bollywood.
Yeah. She's
Never
really
heard of. Well, I think I heard of something like that.
I believe she's from like Brampton or Mississauga and stuff too, but she's really cool. She's hosting the event. She asked me to come along as like a DJ.
Nice.
And we're even at a point, me and her are going to be going back to back, like playing back to back, which is really fun. I love doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the next couple of things for me as of right now. So just like starting to get into that executive producer bag where now I'm like on a DJ Khaled vibe where I'm like making artists come together,
Yeah.
funding the projects, and then hopefully seeing.
Okay, so that's what's to look out for. Okay, so
We need to
summer
talk.
2024. Summer 2024. Look out for DJ Stefaunie. But you're not gonna call yourself DJ Stefaunie, are you? Gonna call yourself DJ Stefaunie?
Yeah, I think we go by like Stefaunie probably. You know, because people either know me by like Stefaunie, Steph, or DJ Stefaunie. You know, so.
Okay. All right. Well, big things. Looking out for that. We'll be following you and like tag us when you're doing things, so we can post it on our page and help you promote that as well.
Of course.
Good stuff. And then when you get your artists, they can come on Dissect and we can talk about
of course.
stuff.
Of course.
And we need to be in touch.
1,000%.
Definitely.
I also there's this artist actually that I am working with now, but I'm just her DJ, so it's not really like I'm executive producing anything with her as of right now. But I am her DJ. Her name is Destiny, so shout out to Destiny.
Shout out Destiny.
She's from Brampton, or she grew up over there, I want to say, and she does like R&B, hip hop. You guys will like her music. She gives me like Aaliyah vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got to post her on your page when she gets her stuff released.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. So shout out. Tell the audience where they can find you. Your Instagram handles, your link tree, like where we can listen to your music on SoundCloud.
For sure. So on all platforms, it's DJ Stefaunie. DJSTFAUNIE. You can find me on Instagram. Linktree, you guys could see like right there down below. Where is it? Over here. It's right there. I'm like literally write Stefaunie and I'll come up. Whether it's Instagram, TikTok. I try to keep the same handle for everything. So check me out. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for having me today and giving me the opportunity. I do apologize for leading up to the interview. I wasn't as active on social media.
Listen, don't even.
No, I just want to say that. I just want to.
No need.
I appreciate you guys for like, connecting with me and having me on here. And anytime you want me back or whatever, even if it's to spin a live set, I'm down to do that in the future. So
Yeah. You're putting things in our head. We have some things that we're working
Like
on.
I said, we'll be in touch. I will definitely be in touch with you. For
okay.
sure. For
I
sure.
appreciate you guys.
I
Thank you
appreciate
for having me again. And yeah,
All
have
right.
a great rest of the interview.
All right. Thank you. Hope you watch.
I will. I'm here. I'm tuned in. So
Take care.
okay. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
There you have it. DJ Stefaunie. She got some plans. That's what's up.
Yes.
So, yeah. Guess number one.
Guess number one.
And guess number two. Oh, I guess I'm going to do the introduction to that one, right?
Yeah.
This is like, just like the first show, this is like my partner, like, this is my friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't use the word friend that much. And then I could use the word friend. I know this man since I was in my teens.
Uh-huh.
We've both been through all types of changes in life. This man is a legend to the game. This man, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Alfy.
DJ Alfy. Do you guys need Kleenex? You need Kleenex?
No. You're muted. Alfy, you're muted. But
He's muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Greetings, man. Greetings.
Right.
But I was going and say, I don't consider this man a friend. I consider this man a brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Family that, you know.
All right.
Family that, man.
For sure. 100. Right?
Nice.
Yeah, it goes way back.
Pleasure being on the program, man.
Man, it's a pleasure having you. And
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
It's been a while since we had, a one-on-one convo like this.
Hello, it's not one-on-one.
Oh, I mean, okay, yes, I'm so sorry.
Well, you just get rid of me just like that because Alfy's on the show?
No, but you see the person I got a face, boy?
No, man, it's family that, you know. That's why, man.
That's okay. I'm not easily offended.
No.
Me and Novel go way back.
Yeah,
Novel can tell you when I started DJing from, like, literally started from scratch.
Okay.
Which most people don't know the history behind that.
Yep, which is gonna make some of these questions really weird because I know the answers to them all.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go, man.
But yeah, let's start. And have you introduce yourself? Tell them who you are, where you represent, and yeah, we'll go from there.
All right. DJ Alfy, real name is Albert Raffle, born and raised in Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean. Actually born the same month and the same year of our independence, right? And yeah, man, you to tell me because we can start from way back when we started DJing, so I won't kick off in too much details, man.
Right.
So yes.
So
besides being a DJ, well, I'm a selector.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So not just DJing, but so I DJ for myself and also talk for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you MC. Yes, I've seen that. You're like a one-man show. You MC, you DJ, you select, you do everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started DJing in 1993, actually. So it's been a minute. Actually, this year giving it 30 years.
Sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hence the word legend.
Yeah, but it's still young, you know. Still young.
Yeah. So again, I know these answers, but what sparked the interest of DJ? What made you want to DJ?
Well, believe it or not, my brother was actually the one who was into DJing. He first that had equipment. So like that is when I was like in first form in high school. I believe that would be like grade 7 for the American system.
Right.
So he was into the DJing vibes. I had the little equipment Now remember back then we talking about your little mixer and having a disc man as a DJ.
Yeah, yeah.
And now he lost interest in it, so I just picked it up. And I've always been a lover of music, and picked it up, started actually DJing with a Discman and a cassette player. So that's how, so we're talking about way back cassette days.
Oh wow.
You check?
This
So,
man, I haven't heard that in a very long time.
I know.
yeah.
This man, yeah.
So yes, and then shortly after that, so in third form, I actually really pick up the DJing vibes. And in third form, SMA is where the name Slaughterhouse was birthed.
Right.
Right? My actual name, DJ Alfy came about a while before that. Because we had, back in high school, in early days of high school, we had a tennis coach that would come from Antigua. And he thought my name was Alfred. So he started calling me Alpha Shot. And then like the next day he started calling me Alfy. And the name just stuck. So then it went from Alfy to Alfy Ranks. You remember Alfy Ranks?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, man. Once you know Alfy Ranks, you know me from a long time.
Wait a minute. Were you also like a rapping DJ? Did you?
I actually started off dubbing, not rapping, dancehall. So like with Clocker, remember Clocker's crew, we had do it in front of KFC, where actually the first song I put pen to, I wrote was, the name of the song was Coffin Drop. Yeah. But I wasn't really into too much of the dubbing vibes, and went into the DJ vibes. Now the selecting part really started when I moved up to Canada. I lived in Canada for 3 years.
Okay.
Because I linked up, I was around several Jamaicans, and now I used to always be around them. And they would talk the raw patois. You check? In other words, like, so novel, how you see when we talk our Creole, you see how someone from Granby will talk hardcore Creole? That is how the man will talk the hardcore Jamaican patois around me. So it's like, I would be hearing that 24/7. And they would bring me out when we used to go clubbing. They would bring me out. So that is where the Jamaican aspect and the love for the Jamaican culture came in for me.
Okay, because I was gonna ask, like when I hear you on the mic, I'm like, I'm hearing a hint of Jamaican accent there.
Yeah, so that's where that came in. So it's like once I talk on the mic, it's like a switch. It's just like if, for example, you will hear Mikel Anderson on a song, like singing a zouk. She will sing like a French person, but you know it's Mikel because it's the type of music. So for me, once I just pick up the mic, it's like, so me talking to novelists right now in this interview, it doesn't want to come out, but trying to talk properly. Yeah, man.
Nice. So would you say that's like a lot of the guests that come on here, we say, the DJs have an alter ego. They're one person with certain group of people, and then when they're that DJ, they become a different person. Is that like you? Or is it different?
Yes, but let me even expand a little more on it for you. So it's like novelists would know me. I was always the shy person, right? Was never, so if like two of us meet, I wouldn't really be the person just to start off a conversation. If you start off the conversation, we can vibes, right? So technically, DJ Alfy then became everything Albert was not. So you can more or less say that. So it's like we did a recent event earlier this year, and I was interacting with the artists, and before the event, Samuel Medas, and then after the event, he told me, but you are so quiet and so thing, and then when I see you on the stage DJing, it's like a completely it's like you put on a switch and it's like a different person. Yeah. So that's just me how I am when I go on the mic.
I find a lot of us have that, and I don't think I could really explain what it is. Like, I don't know if it's a comfort level. I don't know if it's just like you get in your own world, but we all go through that. It's like we're normal, but as soon as we get on the stage, it's just that this energy just comes over you, and you're just in
Mhm.
full control.
I'll describe it like riding a bike. You see, when you're riding okay, when you're driving, you can think, you can listen to music, you can go on your phone, everything. But you see, like when you're riding a bike, it's just you on the road. You can look at it like that. Because when you're DJing, I mean, yes, you'll have people coming up to you, it will always have people doing that, but it's like, it's just a different vibes, especially when you're like on a big event where you have a stage and people cannot come up to you and it's like you getting your feedback from the crowd.
Yeah.
And I can even maybe say, I know you can relate to that. No drug cannot give you that high like when you're on a stage and you're getting that energy from a crowd. You know?
The best feeling. That's why a
Trust
lot.
me.
That's why you will watch it. Okay, DJ Stefaunie was saying something about passing the torch earlier, and I agreed 100%. But hence why you find a lot of people cannot pass the torch, because that drive, that it is a high you cannot replace with anything, right?
No,
So we will see
the thing
old
is that
just
for,
perform, but yeah.
oh, no, sorry, as it was sticking, I didn't realize you're talking still. What
Okay.
you're saying?
No, I was just saying, yeah, it is kind of the drive that you get from it. It is kind of hard to walk away from it. That's hence why a lot of people that's been there forever, um, it's hard for them to just pass the torch or just move on, because it's that drive, that adrenaline, I guess.
Yeah.
And
That
that
makes
is it has certain parts you cannot teach. Because for me, anybody that approaches me and tell me, they want to learn about it, I'm open to teaching anybody, talking to anybody and thing. So I'm open to that, because I remember a time, a couple of years ago, when I first did reggae on the boardwalk. We did a song. I told them to do a song check to get my mics and everything. And then when Miguel heard like the reverb I have on the radio, because I have my own processors I use when I DJ on the radio. He asked me what I use, and I sent him a picture of it. And he's like, a lot of DJs wouldn't just do that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but why? I mean, it's almost like doctors sharing knowledge with each other when they do surgery. So it's like you're learning from each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I see it. But I mean, maybe because I've been in the business so long, for me, I don't feel threatened by another person wanting to DJ.
Right.
Shouldn't.
You see? So I mean, it's the love of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, even things like that, for me, this is how I look at sharing. You build a legacy, right? Because if I teach you something, you're gonna tell somebody I taught you this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building a legacy like that. So if I'm gonna be greedy, that doesn't help anybody. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man,
So
because
Yeah.
even for the artists, like to this date, it have certain artists that bust because of we putting them on the platform.
of course.
I
Yes.
mean, I remember you know Atonia, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. We first met Atonia when I was DJing for, I think that was like the early 2000s. I was DJing for a pageant, a teenage pageant in La Plaine. And after the pageant had finished, we just there running rhythms, and different locals, different people from the village was just touching the mic. And when we heard him sing, I was like, ah man, link me up in the studio. Let's cut a dub and let me test the waters and see how we sung in on a dub and thing. And it's from there, and then shortly after I told him, well, get a more user-friendly name, because the name he had, it wasn't really appealing. And that is when he got the name, he changed his name to Atunia. And then it's from there he just
Took off.
move on.
I remember when I first met that guy, man. That
You
was
know?
he was fire. So let's drop back a little bit. Excuse me. So DJ Alfy came aboard, and then you built your sound and you called it Slaughterhouse. Excuse me. Who were some of the members of Slaughterhouse, and why did you guys choose that name?
The name really and truly came from De Young Novel. He was actually one of the main producers on the Triple Chaos album and also the Family album we released. He was the one who came up with the name. We've actually had quite a bit of DJs, you know, so the main DJs, like towards the end was myself, DJ Smooth, DJs Scare, and DJ Fat Tracks. I ended up more or less selecting, and Fat Tracks would do more the DJ. You also had DJ Median started off with us. You had DJ Dragon, who also was with us for a time. So we've actually had some DJs, you know, that started off with us and thing. But then currently right now, Fat Tracks, last year buried Fat Tracks, and DJ Scare, we buried him in 2017, actually just before Hurricane Maria passed. So the last set of DJs, I'm the actual only one that's still around. Yeah, man, with the exception of Dragon and DJ Median, because they had moved on to their own vibes before we stopped with Slaughterhouse. Because as a person, if you come on board with us, if you decide that you want to do your own thing, we was always like, no problem, you know, branch out. And one thing, DJ Median, he had the voice and he had the personality. You check for just selecting and also radio and those type of things. So these are things we always encourage.
Right.
Okay.
Nice. So you guys went from DJing, and then you just mentioned it, the Triple Chaos album.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was
actually the first dancehall compilation to come out in Dominica, full album with pure dancehall.
Yep.
And I mean, remember, back then it didn't have flash drive, it didn't have YouTube, so it's CD coming out on. So we actually had the CDs manufactured overseas. So when you got that CD, it was a full blown, it wasn't like a burnt CD with you writing on it. That was actually the first album to come out from Dominica, pure dancehall album.
Yeah, you just brought me back to a whole different era with CDs with the writing on it, with the Sharpie.
Yeah, man. Back in the days when the DJ, remember, we started off with the Discman and the cassette, right? And then shortly after that, I took a trip to St. Martin where I bought my turntables and came down with the turntables in my hand. So then we went to the records. So 45, I mean, novel, you know the vibes. Whole heap of 45s and LPs.
Yeah.
You know? And it's really from then I start cutting some dubs.
Yep.
And I mean, let me tell you, I'll tell that to it's Joel, right?
Joel, yeah.
Right. Let me tell you, this man and I, we talking about being in Brampton. Right? And he pulling up by me. And when we wake up in the morning, on 8-track mixer, cutting dubs, he doing dub plates for me. And let me tell you, them 8-track mixers.
8-track mixer.
You can only get about a 2 takes. Because remember, after more than 2 takes, the quality starting to drop. And let me tell you, imagine in the basement, because in a basement apartment I was living in, because a Jamaican was my landlord. And then, so we cut in our dubs, and now I mean, I don't want to get ahead of your questions, but
no, go ahead. Tell us.
Because I got in contact with a Dominican DJ, Japs International. I'm not sure if they're still around. It's been a while, I haven't seen them. So Japs International was from Scarborough. So what I used to do is every weekend, I used to take the bus and the subway to go down to Scarborough from Brampton, right?
Wow.
And then because I lived first in Mississauga and then in Brampton. And then I used to be the roadman with them, so help them set up the equipment and everything. And eventually, there was a time in an event, a Dominican event, I actually DJed for them, and that is when they really see, but wait, he can DJ, you know? And so a lot of what I learned in DJing, even like the juggling vibes with the different dancehall and reggae rhythms, like counting the bars and getting the 4-8 bars. All these things I learned by accident. It's not like somebody that taught me. You know, so it's really and truly the vibes of DJing on an international basis, on an international vibes, is when I linked up with Japs International. And then from Canada, I did a final year of school. I did my final year where I completed my degree in West Palm Beach, Florida. And then I linked up there with American DJ. Now, he used to DJ a lot of Caribbean events, but he was mainly into hip hop. So then he linked up with me through my cousin. So I would DJ the reggae, dancehall, soca, and he would DJ the hip hop vibes. So we used to do like a lot of them fraternity parties for FAU, for those type of universities. We used to do a lot of them vibes, like Soca City. So it had different areas we used to DJ in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And is it 2000, I moved back to Dominica.
Wow, this is something to put in a book.
History.
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, you went way back to the 8-tracks, the cassettes, the CDs, and then forward. You know, the 45s. Well, 45s were before the CDs, but yeah, definitely something to put in a book.
So when I had my when I started getting WCK and my Triple K dub plates, I used to actually send them to Jamaica to cut on 10-inch records by arrows. So I'd have the 10-inch dubs. That's a heavy record. Let me tell you, when you lift that up, that's the weight of 3 records, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, DJs now just have it so beautiful. You have a little flash drive. I have my little flash drive terabytes, and I mean the library that is just. Back in the days, we would have to carry 4 crates. Each crate have 150 LPs. Then another crate of 345s, and then you have your CDs with the black writing on them.
You know, and that's when you know a real DJ, when a DJ can play a record and mix that and flawlessly, you know. That is definitely a real DJ.
So I mean, the technology has just transformed it, because when I used to travel to DJ, I would have to pick the selections we can put in our suitcase. Because remember, you're limited to what you can travel with. Whereas now, I mean, if I come up to Canada, I just come with my flash drive and tell you, okay, that is the type of controller I need. And that's just an easy hookup. So I mean, it's just mind-blowing what you can do now compared to back in the days.
Yeah. Well, somebody, a viewer here is saying, you know, they're getting to know the history of DJ Alfy and where you came from, and good vibes.
Yes, man. yes. I mean, even like, I mean, normally you'll tell me if I get in ahead of myself, even down to selecting, like talking on a mic. The first time I heard that was at Good Times. They brought down Stone Love, and as a teenager, I wasn't really into the hardcore DJing yet. And so that's when I heard Stone Love, and it was one DJ from Stone Love, so he was on the records and talking at the same time. And I was like, to me, that was just so amazing to watch. And even like when I started to do it here, I would be at events here DJing on the record, and people would just sit down and watch me, just stand up next to me, just watching me DJ, because it's like to them that was something new. I mean, when I used to select on a mic, the joke about it is, in Dominica, they would always tell me, you're talking too much. Whenever I travel and DJ, like in Antigua and them places, they would tell me, you're not talking enough. So it's like, you could always know when I travel, because when I come back Dominica and DJ, I'll be talking a lot, because I just come out foreign, you know, and you know when in the foreign vibes, you have to talk. It's not, but the thing is that, I mean, to us, I was the first person who started talking on a mic, but then it's only after when Reggae Gold introduced the double LP. I'm not sure if you remember that. I believe it was Adonai that did the mix. That is when people really realize that, hey, that actually is something that is done a lot overseas, you know, because I mean, Black Chinese mixes was like all over the place here. We did
Right.
couple mixes back in the days. I mean, you know, all DJs would start off DJing, doing mixtapes and those type of things. It's just that once you start doing like 2 free events every single weekend, it can, and you have a full-time job, because here not much DJs here are full-time, eh?
Right.
You have your full-time job. It's difficult to keep up with the mixtapes.
Right. Right. Hmm.
But you've been able to do not. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, shoot, there's so much things you've done apart from just going and DJing and playing on the radio and all that stuff. Like
Yeah,
I'm
man.
in my mind, I'm thinking Triple Chaos, but I'm like, you recorded the first, if I'm not wrong, the first or second Clockers album was recorded at your studio up in
I'm not sure if it's the first or second. I know for sure the album that Nye and Skinny did, Shadow Flow, back in the days, the Skinny Banton. The
I'm talking
first
about,
album that they did, the Booyo album,
yeah, I know
believe
that
it or
was
not, I mean, I can say it now because I'm not working at the company I used to work. I was on sick leave. I was on sick leave that time for a week. We did that album in 2 weeks, as in from scratch, mix, master, everything in 2 weeks. We
Wow.
did that.
right,
And let me tell you about it. You're talking about we go in the studio when the sun up, and we come out in the studio the next day and the sun up.
right,
Wow.
damn.
Yeah, man. At
That
that
is
time,
what,
my daughter was still a toddler. She was still
right,
a baby. She would actually be in the studio. I'd have the little baby towel on the carpet, and she would be there. So whilst we're in the studio, she'd
Yeah.
be sleeping.
right,
Yes, man.
yeah,
That was work. That was double, triple time and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, you're taking time off of work.
right,
Yeah.
Taking time off of work to do
Yeah,
this.
but
Wow. That
studio,
that shows
I
passion.
enjoyed. I enjoy the studio vibes. It's just that studio. Let me tell you, if you
bro.
think DJing is a lot of work, studio work is just relentless.
It's
And the thing
rough.
is that you're in studio and couple hours passing, and by the time you blink your eyes,
Yeah,
I mean the amount of time you're in the studio,
yeah,
yeah, the time
yeah,
does just pass. But it's a rewarding feeling when you put out a product. Like even today, when I was at a store buying something, somebody had asked me about the Triple Chaos album, the Hellraiser Rhythm.
all right.
And just to know that people to this date still remember that, it's just amazing, man. 'Cause that came
Bro,
out in 2001.
that album,
Yeah,
Hmm.
amazing from
yeah.
start to finish. It's I'm done.
I mean, if that album came out in the era where we had Facebook and YouTube to promote, I mean, that
Bro,
would just be a game changer.
bro.
Remember, we're
Joe,
talking about promoting an album where social media did not exist.
Right. Right.
but
It's
yeah,
just,
So
yeah,
do you still have that album? Like this, you have access to it?
actually, it's on YouTube.
It's
It's on
on YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
is it
yeah.
on the Slaughterhouse or the Alfy?
No, it's someone else, that posted it. If you put Triple Chaos, Kayous,
You'll show up.
you will find it.
Okay.
I believe you'll find it.
I
Gotta
got
look
one.
for it.
I got one of the biggest tunes on there. I gotta say, well, me and Slice got one of the biggest
Look
tunes.
at
Yeah,
you
man.
popping your shirt and your collar and all this stuff back there.
Not the biggest, one of the biggest. Okay, all right. I know people stay.
Now I gotta go listen to it.
Oh yeah, no, that album is crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
the first, like I'm sitting there, you mentioned the Nai album. We're talking about Triple Chaos. I'm pretty sure you have recorded at least 2 or 3 of your own album, including the Triple Chaos. I mean, on the
We are the
Slaughterhouse.
family.
Yeah, right. There you go. And I know the first Clockers album you recorded that. That was before you moved to Emzal, I want to say.
No,
Yeah.
I think that was in Buffalo State, because I was in Emsol first. From Emsol, moved to Buffalo State. From Buffalo
No,
State, moved to the housing scheme in Buffalo State. So I lived in one of the first housing schemes in Buffalo
no, no,
State.
no, 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 no. The album was produced at your house up in thing. I'm talking about before you moved. Up in Santa Roma.
Oh boy, that was long.
That's what
That
I'm
was even
saying.
before that.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Let me tell you. So that was definitely the first album I ever did.
Yes,
That was
it was
one of the first
a red
recordings we
album.
ever did.
It was a red album with a hand holding the key like this. I'm sitting there seeing it now. I was like, holy shit, we did record. That's why I didn't want to mix it because I know we recorded with DJ Cut as well. So that's what it is. I said,
Right. So it wasn't everything done by me.
Yeah,
it was a combination.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I was one of the first people to bring Pro Tools. Yeah.
Right.
Everyone was using the other softwares.
Okay.
So what are you man, we gotta move forward. What are you currently doing now? Because I could sit here and we could go back for another 2 hours, right? So
Well, let me give you a little history from coming from Slaughterhouse to the transition now. So that way the viewers can, get an idea. Because if I tell you what I do now, that's a big jump in the timeline. Eh?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So started doing. I'm a lover of clashes. If you tell me first to do a clash, I would love to do clashes. And I mean, I did one of the last events I did on the Slaughterhouse was in 2005, October. We did the Leeward Island Song Clash in Antigua. And we made it to the second round. Now you're talking about no dub plate, no international dub plates. You have local dubs.
Right.
Sorry, and then you have drops. So you have drops from like Baby Sham, Anthony B, those type of things.
Yeah.
But no hardcore international dub plates like I have now. And I mean, even with artists with dub plates, we would still dust them. You check? Because of the style and thing. So I mean, that was the whole transition. But then in me, it always had something where, when you know that something missing and you're just trying to figure out what that was missing. And that is when in 2005, December 2005, is where I give my life to Christ. And so that was the end of Slaughterhouse. And then after that, I actually sold all my equipment.
Wow.
So my records actually I sold to DJ O'Brien. Right? So, and we're talking about the whole record collection, and that was plenty.
Wow.
Right? Because at that time I decided I'm done with DJ. That is it for me. But normally when the music in your vein.
Can't leave it, bro.
You cannot run from music. And it's in 2006 we got the vision to do Gospel Explosion. That was I organized a gospel concert because I've been part of promotions, but not up from on the forefront. Because I was part. The first production I was on was when my brother and a couple of my friends they did a show at back then it was Carnival City.
Right.
They did a show with Nasio Fountain. So that was the first time I really was involved on the back scene as a teenager on a show of that caliber.
Okay.
So in 2006 we did Gospel Explosion in the summer, and we had Lieutenant Stitchy, and we also had Sherwin Gardner from Trinidad. And now I can share something on this platform that I've actually never shared publicly.
Yes, Dissect.
She likes.
Because you cannot talk about DJ Alfy and not talk about DJ
All
Cut,
right.
right?
Yes.
Now, remember, in 1998, DJ Cut and I, we did the first clash. Now, that really didn't go down too well because our culture not really into the clashing things. They take it too personal. Because for us, it's entertainment.
Right.
Me and Cut is good brethrens. Let me tell you something, yeah? Good brethrens. People, I mean, behind the scenes, back then people would think we at war, but now when we greet each other, it's brethren. And I mean, even like right now, we're very close. I consider him a brother of mine. And now, because I'd sell all my equipment when I came to doing the gospel event, now remember that was when Serato was just picking up. You had the Serato Live. They didn't really have the DJ controller, so you'd connect your turntables and everything, your Denons and everything to the live, and it's from that. So DJ Fat Track is who first that introduced me to Serato.
Right.
And then is Gary Didier from Voice of Life, who first gave me, he gave me 7 records, 7 CDs, because I never knew about gospel dancehall and gospel reggae and gospel soca. I never knew that existed. So it's Gary Didier that gave that to me and just them, listen to them things. And when I started listening to them, I was in shock because I was like, okay, my passion now is to serve Christ. Here is music where I can use to glorify Him.
Right.
And that is where I build up. And then when for the event we did, DJ Curtis would have borrowed me his Serato Live. So at that event when I DJ'd, people actually didn't know it's DJ Cut equipment I had. So that's actually the first time I really talking about that.
Okay, so now you heard it right here on Dissect.
Yeah. So
DJ Alfy used DJ Cuts.
Yeah, and I mean, it's from there I got into the Serato vibes. The thing, because right now I have a DJ controller and thing, and I mean, it's just from there started building up the catalog. We did the Gospel Explosion several years again, continuously. The last one we did was in 2014 with actually Kevin Downswell. Right? So I've done events with Positive, I've DJed for DJ Nicholas, so I've DJed for a lot of these, Mavia Providence, Sinak. So I've DJed for a lot of the big gospel artists. And it's from then I started building up my collection of dub plates. So I started getting a lot of dub plates from gospel artists. So I had dub plates from DJ Nicholas, Stephen Murphy, Quelly Simba, Positive, just DJ and thing. And then, so a couple years later, Stephen Murphy, who is a Jamaican artist that I met when he came to do an event here, he and Quelly Simba was doing an album launch in Miami. And then I came up and I was the DJ for that event, And imagine you're on a Jamaican event and Jamaicans in the event asking you what part of Jamaica you're from. And wow. I'm from Dominica, just the vibes in me. It does just sound like that because I mean that's just how I was trained and just what the influence that was around me. And so now recently started to get back into minor studio work, not really recording artists, but like doing a lot of remixes. So like when they would send me, because when they send the dubs, you would get the acapella, instrumental, and then the mastered, right? So I'll just start doing a lot of remixes because besides getting the gospel dubs, I mean, once in a while I get some doublets. So I have doublets from Patrice, doublets from Voice, and from Bungie. Mainly the soca artists. Because besides I do DJ for private events, so also for like weddings, receptions, those type of things, I still do that. And like some of this year I DJ'd. Actually, that's a nice little joke I can give you. So I spoke to Miguel. Remember, Miguel has the promoted for Reggae on the Boardwalk now. Me and Miguel is brethren. So I told Miguel, because when I was DJing my program, a good brethren of mine checking, but Alfy, the reggae gospel and the dancehall gospel you play, I mean, for him it just sounding so mind-blowing. He tell me about why not bring it to Reggae on the Boardwalk. So I pitched the idea to Miguel, because remember I did Reggae on the Boardwalk last year, but an old school segment. I pitched the idea to Miguel, he had to think about it, and he told me, no problem, man. And I told him, okay, we'll run it, we'll do it a little earlier, so at 11 o'clock, and then later on I can come on and give, a little old school vibes. And I mean, it was a little bit, on the nervous side, because I mean, you're going into an event, that's a different environment. But for me, that I see that as my ministry. My ministry is to bring forth the gospel to people that you wouldn't see inside of a church building. Right? Because that is my area. That is what God has called me to do at this moment right now.
Yeah.
What he called me to do in 20 years, that might be different, but at this moment right now. So, and I mean, even after I DJed this segment, I mean, the amount of people that came up to me, and just express how impactful it was, just hearing the music, hearing the vibes and thing. And then after DJing the old school vibes, I mean, the amount of people that just come and tell me they miss that type of vibes, that type of energy, that type of interaction, because Joel, I believe it's you that said that when you was interviewing DJ Stefaunie, when you said when you go to an event, you've heard a DJ for so long, you can actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the joke about that is last year I was at Curl Festival because we had our booth. I was working there on the Emerald movies.
Yeah.
So even as at working there, I could hear the DJs playing, and even also at the event last year for Jam Mill, I was with my nephew, and I could actually tell my nephew what song the DJ going and play, and he would just watch me like. I just said, yeah, because it's like a lot of DJs when they practice a mix, they can only DJ it how they practice.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever I DJ in, I try to be mindful of how I DJed before. So if I juggle in, let's say, a particular rhythm, the pleat rhythm, which is one of the most popular gospel rhythms, dancehall rhythms, or let's say I'm in a private function and I do in the showtime rhythm, I would do my best not to play the same songs like how I would normally play it. I'll try and mix it up.
Yeah.
And thing.
That's good.
I mean, currently, just I have my radio program I do on Vibes Radio every Thursday from 6 to 8. The upliftment vibes. It's mainly gospel, but reggae, dancehall, soca, hip hop, Afrobeat. Mainly gospel. You'll catch a little one to Colton Tea and thing. Yeah, man. So that is basically where we are right now.
You're very busy. You're a busy guy.
I got an idea of doing a mixtape because that mixtape is something I've wanted to do for a little while. I really want to try and finish it by the end of the year and to do 2, and I can call it dubplating session. That is because a lot of times people will tell me they like to hear my dubplates, So it just came to me that just to do, I want to actually do 2.
Is there time?
Hopefully that will come out soon. That can be on my that would be on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I behind in terms of posting. It's been a while. I mean, recently I posted something, but let me tell you something, to keep up, that's a full-time job, when you post.
I was just about to say that social media is definitely a full-time job. So
definitely.
You might have to hire your daughter.
Yes, man.
Get your daughter to help you.
Well, the thing is that my daughter lives in Texas.
Yeah.
I live in Dominica, so
You can send her there and she'll post it for you.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of history to cover. There's so much.
Man, I mean, it has so much we don't talk about,
Oh, yeah,
tell you about it. I mean, if we had to start talking just about everything, and I mean, we would stay very late tonight,
Oh yeah. So hence why we should do a part 2 of this. And
but you see the part 2.
I'm not gonna actually say what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping
I have to be in Toronto for the part 2,
Now he's talking next year, That's
so
next.
we can do it sooner, We can do it sooner, man. We'll talk, man.
We'll
Yeah, me on WhatsApp,
We'll
so we can always talk.
Of course, we'll definitely talk. Because something just back in my head, I ain't gonna say that. We'll definitely talk.
If you tell me
I'm involved in that.
If you tell me come Toronto for a month and we have events line it up, brother.
That too.
Yeah, man.
I'll keep you in the loop. Don't worry.
I can get you to come and play at my church.
No problem. Just let them know it's a Caribbean DJ that there.
That's okay. That's okay.
And just let them know we dancing like David dance. Because is one, you see, when you see with DJ, I mean, when people see the excitement in me when I DJ, and like they would hear the dancehall, the soca, even the booyah on a gospel vibes, and to them, it's a lot of people, it's not something they used to. But when you see, God did something for you in your life, and let me tell you, when you see you just dance and praise and worship, I mean,
Yeah.
the excitement and the joy that comes out, is something that you cannot explain.
That's right.
So I mean, it's like when you see I DJ right now, it's like, because I mean, novel know me. When I talk on a mic, it's like a story. So it's not just talk and say the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Right.
We give a story to the song. So if I play in a song that talking about trials, I relate it to a situation and then bring in the song. So it's more like, I like to say when I DJ, it's different stories I give.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So my brother, we have to do this again.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
We haven't even touched, like, I mean, we teased about the production side of things. There's so much in depth we would like to get into on that note. So we definitely have to do this again. So I want to thank you for coming with us tonight.
Yes.
This was amazing, and half of this shit I knew, excuse my language, but half of this other stuff I just learned too. So, which is good. I like learning stuff on Dissect, so this is good.
Man.
So
you're a very captivating story. I wouldn't say it's storyteller, but the way you explain and express yourself, definitely we have to have you back on for
before we go. Before we go, I have to mention this because like as certain people commented and said they're learning a lot about the history.
Yeah.
A lot of people locally, in Dominica, a lot of people might not know that my career took off from the clockers parties. The clockers boxing the parties by sheikhs. I mean, so that's why novelists say it have a lot we don't touch on, So, but in part 2, we'll go deeper in it, man.
Oh yes. We're definitely gonna.
But novelist Joel, thank you for having me on. It was truly a pleasure.
Yes.
Enough thanks and enough blessings.
Of course, my brother.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, definitely.
So if you wanna give your social medias or you wanna big up the family and all that stuff before you leave, go ahead.
Yes, man, no problem. Yeah, my YouTube page, DJ Alfy, and Facebook and Instagram is DJ Alfy 767. I do my best to post, but we're kind of lacking on the posting. I mean, but working on it, man. So yeah, man, you can check me out if you go on YouTube, DJ ALFY, you will get the event which happened in May where I DJed for Samuel Medas. So that actually was a very good event. So you can check that out. We planning on doing something for next year, Gospel Explosion. It's still in the works. So just link up on the social media platform to get the details on that, So DJ Alfy. Enough love, brother. Enough love.
Yes. We'll definitely talk shortly.
All right then. Yes, man.
Care. Nice meeting you.
Thanks. All right, take care.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only legend in the game. 30 years. I feel old now.
30 years. Yes.
Wow. That is legendary. That was legendary. Yeah, it was about time we had DJ Alfy on here, and I like how he just gave us the details as much as he could possibly give, right? And yeah, we didn't have to dissect too much stuff.
He was dishing it out. He was dissecting it and dishing it out for us. I like that.
That's what it's about. So we're definitely. He's talking about being in Canada and doing part 2. I'm talking about before the season even ended to do a part 2. Like, Joel, I'm going to tell you what I have in my mind, but
Yes,
that
we'll
will be
talk
between me and you for
off
now.
air.
Thank you guys for joining us. It was a pleasure. I did not lag tonight. I was on time.
Yes.
You know, DJ Stefaunie, he was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we have to talk to her too as well. And you guys for tuning in tonight and subscribing to the channels. Thank you. Thank you for spreading the love. Jewel, whatever you want to say to the people.
Well, next week we have another DJ because we're just wrapping up our DJ segment, and we have another DJ for you next week. That's DJ Q. He's coming from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's going to be live on Dissect next week. So tune in.
Godspeed. Have a blessed week and a blessed weekend, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
So I'm Janine Zabi across.
I'm Janelle Zabi. And we're Zabi Street.
So this is what you meet on the inside and we're ready to come.
Are you, Jewel? You know I'm hidden talents that you're not talking about.
Let's get to the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Drum.
Yeah.